Hi, I'm Laura Roberts. Welcome back to the McCall's Quilting Parisian Grace Quilt-Along. Today I'm going to talk to you about your F blocks, how to put them together, and what little things you should be watching out for. So I'm going to show you these first. The F block has all these different tan fabrics again. So again, just like last time, you need to kind of keep your eyes open and make sure you've got the right tan fabric in the right place. Because remember, when you got them upside down, it's really hard to tell who's who. So just make sure you kind of keep an eye on that. And this block is made up of all the units you've done before. There's nothing new in terms of how to sew the individual units. The one thing that is a little bit new is you're going to be adding flying geese to the sides of one of these hourglasses to make this side unit. And that's in the block. You'll see there's one on every side of the block right there. So you tab that unit, and this gets sewn to it once you have that unit together. And the only other thing you have are more hourglass blocks. So if you don't remember how to do those, just go ahead and take a look at the last one again, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. So when you have these, all your little units put together, one thing that's going to be different is the actual construction of the block. I'm going to show you how. Okay, I've got 3/4 of my block put together, and in the previous, with the previous blocks, what you've done is make 4 rows or 3 rows, depending which block. What you do with this one is you're actually going to piece this center first. So you're going to sew these 4 hourglass blocks together first before you sew the other things, and there's a reason for that. You can't make 4 rows when one of your units stops right here. Right? You can't cut through that. So this unit is big enough, is so big, that it ends up being added to either side of the center part made with your 4 hourglasses. So all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add this last little row in my block. I'm going to sew that on. And there's really nothing new to look out for. It's very much the same as you've been doing all the way along. I'm just going to add that one on now so we can take a look and see what it looks like when it's all done. I'm just going to fold that member, make sure it's in the right orientation. I'm going to fold that down like that so I know what I'm sewing. All right, I'm just going to take this right over here to the machine and get comfy and put my glasses on. Okay, so I already have my little thread holder taily thing there, and I'm just going to align like I always do, starting at the corner. Okay, like that. There we go. There, all right. And get my little awl thing going here. Come on. There we go. I'm just going to feed this in here like that. If you want to, you can of course pin all these little intersections. Remember, you just put that pin in vertically, but between where the points are, and then pin to either side. Okay? So you can do that, or you can do what I'm doing here. I am just going to feel, and I'm comfortable enough with knowing that I've got that 1/4 inch seam where I want it, that I'm pretty sure I've got that right. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that this next one is lined up. See right here? Okay, that feels right. Okay, and I'm just going to keep on sewing like that. I hope you've been having fun with this. I think it's a great project. It was designed, this quilt was designed by Susan Guzman. She's an amazingly good designer, and her quilts always have something a little bit fun in them and pretty, and this was one of her designs. All right, there we go. Now let's keep sewing right down here. All right, I'm just going to make sure the sky lines up down at the end now that I'm closer to it. There we go. Okay, I love these fabrics. I'm wondering how you're feeling. Are you having fun with your fabrics too? It's just great when you get nice fabrics that feel really good and are really pretty and work together well. It just adds a certain something, doesn't it? Okay, let me get those guys just aligned. Again, I'm using my fingers to feel. Okay, I can feel that it's a little bit off, so I'm going to work by pushing the bottom away from me a little bit until I can feel it nested. There we go. So go ahead and work with it. You know, you can You can ease these if you need to. There's no reason that you have to go, oh no, and take it apart or anything. You can ease them unless you have a really big error. Okay, I think that does it. We'll just finish this up. There we go. Hi, baby. I love my machine. Well, I love my machine, which is a Poffin, but I love this one too. Love this machine. There we go. Okey-doke. Now just cut off my threads. And we'll go over here and cut off my little thread catcher guy. Ta-da. All right, let's see what this looks like now. There we go. Oh, pretty. Yay. Oh, wow. I love this block. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to press this seam open. And I press that other one open. I'm going to press this one open too because it'll lie flatter that way. So when your quilt gets quilted, it'll be flatter. You know, a quilter, of course, if you get it machine quilted, you know, they can make those lie down, those places where all the different little guys meet. But I think it's easier, maybe easier for them, but for the person quilting the quilt to have it lying down. But I think overall it just looks nicer when the quilting isn't having to hold it down. Okay, do not burn your fingers. There we go. At home, I have, of course, a bigger iron, and it makes this a cinch. It's a little trickier when I'm using a little iron because I don't have quite the point on this one. My iron at home has a really sharp point at the front, which just opens these right up. Okay, now let's move that down. So once you have it pressed open from the back, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it's not going to be perfect. Perfect is not part of this. If you really want to be perfect, you can certainly try. There are a lot of people who piece so beautifully, but you don't have to be perfect for it to look beautiful. Okay, so now that I've got it on the front, I'm just gonna give it a really good pressing now that it's turned right side out, making sure I get all those creases. There we go, just right. Okay. And this is always a good tip. When you are making a quilt, when you finished your quilt or you finished a block, if you give it a really good pressing, it's amazing how good a quilt can look. So if your quilt's not looking just the way you want it to, really and truly, a lot of the time it's because it needs a good pressing, even sometimes after they've been quilted. And I'm going to end up taking this one home and giving it a really good pressing with my iron at home. But for now, there it is. It's all set, all ready to go. And next time, we're going to go ahead and start assembling the quilt. So you get to see all these things playing together. You're going to love it. Your homework is to go ahead and make your F blocks, and I'll see you back here next time when we start putting it all together. Thanks so much.